Hey guys, it's your boy MKS back here with another video, another topic, and I hope everyone's well wherever you are. And I've been thinking about making this video for quite a while, so I thought I'd get around to making it. And yeah, so hopefully some people out there will enjoy it, and I appreciate your likes, views, shares, and all that kind of thing. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And again, I appreciate your support, all support you can give me, and any comments or suggestions, ideas, feedback, or anything else you want to comment. And yeah, as I say, I hope you enjoyed this video. And as a late birthday present, hopefully people will watch as many of my videos and support them as much as possible. I know my birthday was like 2 weeks ago, but yeah. So anyway, here goes. So here are some of my, as I said in the title, I hope this is not too narcissistic of me. It does feel a bit narcissistic, but I thought I'd talk about some of my plans, and again, hopefully you'll enjoy them and give me any suggestions or advice or anything else. So here goes. So number one, I would love to, dare I say, I would love to, this sounds a bit antisocial, feels a bit antisocial, but, or both, but I would love to live as independently as possible, live on my own. And for anyone who knows me well enough, you'll know that's quite a big step, because I do have some like special needs or learning disability, special needs, neurodiversity, or whatever you want to call it. I do have like dyslexia and dyspraxia, which affects me quite a lot. Dyslexia not so much, but dyspraxia affects me quite a lot. It does have some positives as well, so I don't want to just think of the negatives, but it does have some problems with it as well. So living alone independently, I've never done before, so that would be quite a big thing. But yeah, I'd love to be able to do that. And like, I think if you live alone, you do get like a focus. You do get to focus on what you're working on or whatever. So I think it would be great. Like, I thought in my ideal house would be like, even if it's a small house, all I'd want to have in my house, I wouldn't want to have any telephones, because people could phone me and distract me or whatever. But I just want like a smart hub TV to watch like YouTube or some other things that I probably won't mention here. You probably work them out if you're old enough to work them out. But yeah, some more adult-related content perhaps. But I don't know if I should say that, but yeah. And also like one seat or one settee. I'd probably be quite reclusive. Again, I don't want to be too antisocial, but if I did want to socialise, like I'd go to the park or go to the gym or to the library or something like that, or somewhere I could socialise and like host events or work, like meet people. I don't know if maybe even host events. You never know in the future, but I would love to network with people where we could focus on specific things. But again, hope to come to. But I hope to come to that in these points I hope to raise in these videos. But yeah, so I'd probably just have like a smart hub TV, so I can watch YouTube and whatever. One seat or one settee or whatever, and maybe like just a bed to lie in. And then I have a terrible problem with hoarding, so I probably hoard as many paperwork so that I'm allowed to keep without wanting to cause trouble or have any problems. Like if I'd probably even live in like the middle of nowhere if I felt safe enough to do so. Again, I hope that doesn't sound too antisocial, but like again, if I want to socialise, maybe like I can walk quite far, so but yeah, I probably live away from neighborhoods, so I don't hassle other people with my hoarding or whatever. But yeah, if obviously if I was renting a property or whatever, if I had money to rent, then obviously if they did say you have to clear up some of your hoarding, I'd have to find a way, like to give it to charity or find a way to see what I can do. Obviously obey the law. I always try and obey the law anyway, or obviously especially including landlords or whatever. But yeah, if I had my own property as well, if I had like neighbours complaining, or I'd have to try and keep it obviously as hygienic as possible. But yeah, I probably have paperwork everywhere with my writing, even though my handwriting's really poor, and my punctuation, as you can probably see with my titles on my writing, you'll probably notice is quite poor for if anyone see my writing. But anyway, so but yeah, I'd probably just have a smart hub TV, a laptop where I can type and my plans and some paperwork, as much paperwork as possible, and like one bed and one seat where I can sit, or a settee or whatever, one seat settee where I can like watch TV or whatever when I want to relax and write, and that's about it really. I wouldn't have to have much furniture or much other stuff. I wouldn't have any telephones or anything like that. That'd save me on bills as well, and also like. So I'd avoid distraction. Like if people wanted to ask me for a favour, they'd probably have to ask me in advance and politely and stuff like that, and then I'd see what I could do. But they'd probably have to email me or write it on my Facebook or whatever, or even on YouTube. But yeah, so moving on. Number two, I hope to learn as much as I can. I'd love to learn as much as I can about, but not necessarily learn for the sake of learning, though. I haven't said that. So probably not everything I can learn. Like I think things are not trivial, but I can actually use, I can make use of. I'd love to learn as many things I'm actually going to make use of with the work I want to do with charity, and learning about different ideas and plans and all that kind of thing. But again, I want it to be, I was thinking of the word constructive, but I don't know if that's the right word. But yeah, stuff I'm actually going to, practical, that I'm going to actually use. So I don't want to learn just for the sake of learning, but I would love to learn things I'm actually going to use. Number 3, I would love to be as free as a living thing can be, really. I think, to be honest, I think that the price for being alive is sometimes, I don't think any living thing is 100% free. It might be more free than others, but I think anything that has repercussions or consequences for it's not really that free. Like some of the things, even though I believe in God, some of the things I disagree with, like about what freedom is. Whatever, like freedom to me means doing whatever you want to do without repercussions or reprisals, and not having to do what you don't want to do. So I think that no living thing is probably 100% free, because we always have to do something. Well, so we all have to do something at least sometimes that we don't want to do, not always, but at least some of the time. So I don't think anyone can be 100% free, in my opinion. But yeah, so I'd love to be as free as a living thing can be. And work on like helping others to be free and human rights and discussing what human rights should be and things like that. Number 4, again, I love to work on my goals and have as much peace and quiet, and sometimes maybe even have like a centre. I can go to a room where I can have where like it's an empty room which no one's using, so that could be a place where people send ideas or send things to write on or things like that, or things that maybe like work with a team that can look at how to make the best possible use of things. So this could be a place I go away to like be creative and think about my goals and like how I can make use of things and recycle and look after the environment and like look at how to avoid waste. I think that's one of the problems with hoarding, is like I don't like waste. I really strongly dislike waste. I don't like to hit anything, but I don't like waste, so I always try and make use of things, and unfortunately like that there's only a certain amount of space. But I don't like papers being ripped or torn or burnt or anything like that. So I've given my enemies some ammunition where they can annoy me. So I don't know if I should have said that one, but again, but yeah. So that's why I'd love to like have a place where I go where I could, even if I did live on my own and I had that sort of thing. But let's say I became a bit claustrophobic, or I needed to go out and have a place where I could, again, maybe an empty premises which no one's using, which I could make use of, and people could send things that I could find a way to make use of without getting in people's way or things like that. So yeah, so I'd love to work on those goals again, have as much peace and quiet as possible, avoid confrontation and argument. Again, that's another reason why I'd love to live alone overall, because I think every family, every couple or whatever argues. That's why I'd love to live on my own, and that sort of thing. Number 5, again, I'd love to work on my goals. Yeah, so I mean, I must admit, again, this is probably a point I shouldn't mention, but I've never had a partner or a girlfriend or anything like that. But I think if I did, I'd never want to move in with someone else or let them move in with me. So they have to understand that my attention, time, and money goes towards philanthropy and charity and football and things like that I'm passionate about. So they'll never get that much time of mine when I'm focusing. So that's something I don't want to be distracted or whatever. So then I think for a woman to understand that would be quite difficult. So, but yeah, I love to focus on my goals and things like that, again, like on how to make use of things hopefully without getting people in people's way. So it is a problem with hoarding, but that I have. But look at how to, as I say, make use of things, but without getting in people's way. And moving on, number 6, I would love to see Italian teams, Serie teams, and the national team, and even lower league teams in Italy and grassroots and all that, getting as much funding as possible and look at ways and ideas. I'd love to even go to Italy again. I've been to Italy, but this time I'd love to go and actually share my ideas and goals about football, my strategy, and learn as much as I can as well from other people's ideas. Not always thinking I have the best ideas, but I do have ideas which hopefully are really good and effective, possibly the best, but maybe if I test them as daft as I can be, sometimes I can come up with ideas that are probably quite good as well. Number 7, again, I'd love to do similar things for Celtic with my ideas and possibly do volunteering. But I think if I'm going to do volunteering now, I hope to organise these things before I can do volunteering, so I can help myself to get into that position before I can volunteer. So anyway, yeah, I love to help homeless people and disadvantaged people and that sort of thing, and do positive things to make the world a better place. On that note, number 8, again, I'd love to make the world a better place and be as positive as possible, hopefully, and enjoy my YouTube videos, and hopefully, again, get as many views as possible and work on my YouTube and other plans as well. And number 9, again, if I could, this is a really embarrassing point which I've struggled to explain on this YouTube channel. I don't know if, again, it's another one of those things I don't know if I should say, but I know I have a habit of saying that, but with my hoarding, I would have paperwork, like receipts, envelopes, like paperwork everywhere if I could, like probably everywhere in the world, and like piled as high as possible. So it's one of my challenges I really struggle to overcome. So I'd have to look at ways I can make use of things without, as I say, without getting in people's way, and without obviously making the most of space, but also not taking up other people's space or whatever. And number 10, again, I say again, so I'd love to help young people, the youth, children, animals, and disadvantaged people, as I've mentioned before, and empower the youth. I think we should look at how we can empower the youth in the future, like how we can help them to get training for careers and that sort of thing, especially people from disadvantaged backgrounds. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and will support my channel as much as possible. I really appreciate it again, and I appreciate your comments, likes, shares, and all that kind of thing. And I'm out. Peace and love.